Hello, busy single parents. It's me, your favorite author and transformational speaker for the busy single parent, Mia Turner Whitley, author of Life According to the Busy Single Parent, Success Stories and Solutions to Bring Calm to Your Chaotic World. Well, I hope that you had a wonderful weekend and that your weekend wasn't weekending too much and that you were able to find some time for you. Now, I know that's a task sometimes. And I get that. But what I also recognize is so important that we take those little minutes that we can find for ourselves to be our own oxygen. You know why? Because we out here in these co-parenting streets. Yes, today I'm going to share from my book one of the authors. Her name is Andrea Riley, and her chapter is Get Busy Co-Parenting. So as we're talking about Get Busy Co-Parenting, I'm going to share a couple of paragraphs out of her chapter, some gems that she's dropping on us for these co-parenting worlds that we're in. And she starts off by saying, no one wakes up and says, I want to raise kids all alone. That is not the goal when bringing beautiful babies into this world. As single parents, we tend to ignore ourselves and go through each day focused solely on our children, home, and job. Facts. After all, this is what we are taught being a parent is all about. Most of the time, co-parenting is not something seen as something we should focus on, but rather a chore. We do not focus on it, yet it is part of daily living as a single parent. No matter what life entails as we go about our lives as parents, attention needs to be paid to the co-parenting relationship. Life has a way of taking us on roads we do not foresee or even ones we do not necessarily want to travel on. Regardless, we continue to travel to get to our destinations. Very good. Next, we're going to look at a couple of excerpts that she has. And as I was going through her chapter, it was kind of hard deciding what I should share. And you just got to get your own copy. MiaSpeaks.com is where you can order it, and you can read all of it in its entirety. So I'm going to read the subtitle, Pay Attention to Emotions. As parents, sometimes we do not pay close enough attention to how things affect our children's emotions. I am guilty myself. We all are. We sometimes do not think something is as important to our children, but many times it is, especially things concerning parents, that other parent. Yeah, they listening when you're sitting there talking about them to your best friend. Yeah, don't do that. Don't talk about them in front of you. You have people that you can talk to in a confidential area, but don't disrespect them babies about their parents, that other parents, regardless if they're there, what they're doing, what they're not doing, unless it's just unhealthy and unsafe situations. That's totally different. And even then, we want to cater our language and how we talk to and about this person that we laid down with and had these kids in majority of the cases. Okay, let me just be real clear about that, because I know that it's not all the same. It's not a one size fit all. So continuing on, our children need to know it is okay for them to have feelings, and it is okay for them to be able to talk about their feelings. Do not be dismissive of a child's feelings concerning any parent, including ourselves. While we may be the primary parent, we are not perfect either. Teaching forgiveness to our children is not just for parental relationships, but helps them establish healthy habits. Isn't that what we want to raise on this journey of our children? We want them to be healthy in every aspect, especially when it comes to wellness, their well-beings. Okay, teaching forgiveness to our children is not just for the parental relationship, but helps them establish healthy habits when faced with offensive and hard situations when they are wronged. And then she goes on to talk more about that emotional relationship. And I'm going to jump to this next section where she talks about establishing boundaries, schedules, and coordinating. Then we have the coordination of visits, events, dating on both sides, and all those things that come along with being parents who are not in a relationship with one another. Because guess what? Just because we're not together and we break up, that doesn't mean the kids go away, that they disappear. No, there are still responsibilities that need to be taken and handled by both parents. Okay, that was me with my 2 cents. Getting back to Andrea. The main co-parenting motto I live by is, I will never keep my children from their fathers. However, I am not going to force them to be a father either. That was good. What this means is I will drop them off and pick them up. I will travel and meet. I will do whatever I need to do or I have to do to help them spend time with their children. But I am not going to call them to ask, hey, you want the kids this weekend? Is your weekend according to the courts and all of that? You supposed to have them, or according to our agreement, you supposed to have them this weekend? No, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to chase them down to force them to go get their children. Co-parenting is a two-way street. We're both in this. While our main goal is to ensure we do what we need and are supposed to do for a healthy co-parenting relationship, and yes, they do exist, we should receive the same. We do not allow the other parent to manipulate you, to use you to have a relationship. Well, that's when we go and we start making excuses why the other parent didn't come pick them up and all this kind of stuff. Or trying to keep the peace and enable them. No, we're not going to do that either. Where they put forth little to no effort and you are running yourself raggedy. Well, she don't say raggedy, I'm saying raggedy. You running yourself raggedy for them. No. If I got to do it, you got to do it too, right? So I can't make you have a relationship. That's something you got to do on your own. And then your kids looking at you crazy just for the parent that they don't have a relationship with because you're not there. These kids see everything. They don't just disappear. So some tips that have helped me in all these areas are the following. Number 1, establishing clear boundaries. And then she goes on to say, miaspeaks.com to get your copy today. But I will share, she has some other great gems there that she's sharing about that. I will wrap it up with her conclusion. No 2 children are the same ever. We get one chance to raise each child. Make it the best we can. Now, this is how she said, she got in all caps. Make it the best we can so when they look back, they can say, they were not perfect, but they sure worked hard and created a perfect parental upbringing for me. And again, that is Andrea Riley, and her chapter is called Get Busy Co-Parenting. All right, so next week we'll resume with our chapter number 3. There are a total of 10 authors, including myself. So next week I'll be sharing the third author. Her name is LaShonda Miles, author LaShonda Miles, and her title is The Single Desperate for God Parent. Now, I love all these authors that I'm going to be sharing with you. You can find them on social media. Maybe it's something specifically said that you want to reach out to them and connect directly with them. I am open to whatever is going to help you. All right, so as we are ending our author read time for this evening from Life According to the Busy Single Parent, I want to remind you each day to remember to take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes just for you, regardless if that's journaling, if that's walking outside, if that's getting some fresh air, if that's eating healthy food, if that's drinking, drinking water, staying hydrated, whatever that may look like, praying, yoga, meditation. Take 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes for you to be your own oxygen, because you know why? Your babies need you. All right. So thank you for tuning in this week. Please continue, follow back, share, subscribe, whatever platform that you're seeing this video on. And remember, take 5 minutes just for you. All right. Be your own oxygen and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.